All right, it's here. Welcome to the beta test instructional video. I'm your host, Caleb Roth, also known as the Book Flipper, also known as, I don't know, whatever you want to call me, ScoutIQ Master. Uh, hello. Make sure the phone is working. Yes, it is. Okay, we're going to show you how to get up and running with your ScoutIQ beta test. There's a few bugs, I'm sure. We've discovered most of them, and with your help, we're going to uncover a lot more. So thanks for bearing with us. Again, it's a beta test. We've worked really hard to bring you what we call an MVP, or a minimum viable product. We're excited for it, and we're going to jump right in. So bear with us. Please let us know. Send a screenshot, post in the Facebook group. You can email us directly, info@scoutiq.co, info@scoutiq.co, and we'd love to hear from you. So without further ado, I'm going to remove my talking head so you don't have to stare at my ugly mug, and we're going to show you how to walk through the app. So you can go ahead and bring it up here. You can go to the download screen up in the top left corner. So grab the download data. There's only two buttons here. Try to make it fairly simple. It'll tell you if the data, when it was last updated, so today in this case, and it'll tell you that yes, it does in fact exist. You can download the database. Again, with good internet, it should take about 4 to 5 minutes. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, or I don't think anybody has dial-up anymore, but if you don't have great internet, it may take a little longer, so be patient with that. The database is going to be powerful, so you are going to want to have that. Triggers are here. Again, we've set you up with the exact triggers that I use in pretty much in my day-to-day business. Obviously, online arbitrage is different than buying in stores, but you can click through on any of these. If you're not an FBA seller, you're going to want to turn all the FBA offers to skip and all the used buy boxes to no. One little glitch on an iPhone 7, and it doesn't do this on the emulator, but it does it on my computer or on my phone for whatever reason. You can change the target profit if you want to type it in. Again, when you click out of it, you're going to notice on the 7 potentially, let us know if this works on your 7 or not. It works fine on smaller screens. A 5 and a 6 is great, but 7 for whatever reason is not there. You could change the percentages as well. If you do want to change the profit, one thing to note, if you just click $2 and then click the back sign up at the top, it won't retain it. You need to click off of it. So just something small that we've discovered, and just heads up there. So we'll go ahead and put it back to 250. We'll leave them the same for everybody else. We'll turn the buy box back on, and we'll set it to the 4th lowest prime price if it exists. Okay, so that's it for triggers. You can play with those as much or as little as you want. Within settings, a couple things to note. One is this external scanner button that's up at the top. Now this is something that if you use a scanner, and I just checked with the group, so thanks for the quick feedback. If you use an Opticon, probably any of them, 2002 is what I use, or an 06 potentially. If you use that, or even the KDC, I believe most people use the 200i, those will work with the external scanner. What this does is it reverts the cursor back to the text box every single time when you scan, so it allows you to keep scanning without having to tap back into the search field. So if you're using a scanner, if you have that paired up, by all means, use that. Okay, so go ahead and turn that on. Audio, we'll leave it on for now to show you how it works, and then vibration, you can turn that on or off as well. One thing to note, make sure vibration's set up in your phone settings to make sure that that's up and running. So vibration is actually pretty neat. I didn't even see this because I didn't go back and read all your comments yet. I apologize. Our developer actually noticed it and threw it into the most recent update. So I didn't even request it. He didn't tell me it was coming. It's a nice little Easter egg, so kudos to him. This is actually pretty cool. You can turn audio off, keep the phone on in your pocket, turn the vibration on, and you can actually scan with just your handheld scanner, and it only vibrates on an accept trigger. So you could actually fly fairly under the radar, or keep your phone in your back pocket, keep your hands mostly free, and just simply scan. So that's a really cool little setup. MWS information, what this does is we've got it set up. You have to have MWS keys to get live mode. They're really easy to get if you have a professional seller's account, which you should if you're selling 40 items a month or more, because it actually saves you money to pay that $39.99. You can actually put your keys in here. It's relatively easy. I actually put a support page together. You can click through here. It's in the Zendesk area. It shows you how to submit them. It has all the links to go to your user permissions page, how to add that. So follow that. It's actually fairly easy to do this on a computer and then email yourself the credentials, because when you get to the credentials, they're fairly long. The auth token itself is like 40 characters, and you have to get the uppercase, lowercase all set up. So make sure you're going to copy paste those. You can do it from your mobile, but again, it's easier and faster to do it from your computer and then do some sort of a cloud-based transfer or an old school email. Then you've got your 3 scanning modes. Couple notes about these. Database mode will just look up the database. If you haven't downloaded the database, obviously it's not going to work. Data plus live will opt to the database first. And if it's not in our database, it'll give you the ability to do a live lookup. It'll actually just do it automatically, so it's fairly seamless. Again, database scans take about 0.2 seconds. Last we timed them, it may be a hair longer on the app, but it's pretty darn fast. And live lookups take about 1.5 seconds or 1.2 seconds. So you'll notice the difference. Again, if you've got audio sounds on and you're at your house, run arounds, make noise, do whatever you want to do. If you're in a library sale and you've got audio sounds going on, not a good situation. And if you get reported, I don't know what I'll do, but just don't be that guy or girl. Live only is going to opt toward live searches. Now, one thing about live, we have not optimized our live searches yet. So what could happen, it's pretty rare, but if you scan like a madman or madwoman and run around, you're potentially going to put yourself in a place where you actually rate limit out how many lookups you can do in an hour. So if that happens, if you start scanning live and it just keeps spinning and telling you it's not found, then by all means switch back over to database mode, and it should work until your scan's clear. We're going to work to optimize that. Again, it is a minimum viable product. We focused on the database and triggers and making sure all the functionality was there. So just a heads up, I would strongly recommend data plus live mode. It's going to be the fastest mode. It's going to help you not miss any gaps, and you don't have to worry about your rate limits when it comes to some of the MWS or the Amazon lookups. For me, I'm just going to put this in live just to walk you through the demo. And we're off and running. Okay, so you go to the scan screen. It's already got a book in here. So this is what I'm talking about. If you've got a barcode scanner, we'll switch back so you can see my mug. If you've got a barcode scanner, I've got the Opticon 2002 right here. The big button here is for scanning. The little button is for turning your keyboard on and off. So if I push this little button, wait for it, my keyboard bounces down. Now when I scan a book, again, it takes about 1.2 seconds. Let me make sure my audio is up so you can hear that. Actually, it's into the phone or into the computer. So you may hear that, you may not. Let me make sure audio's on. Okay, I did leave it on. I don't know if it's going to work since I'm plugged into my computer. Let me turn the volume up and try one more. All right, maybe you're hearing it there. I don't hear it out here, but not a big deal. Again, live mode is going to take a little bit longer. One word of warning, the over on the left side, bottom left, where the thumbnail image is supposed to be, it's not actually showing up right now. We're going to work to fix that. Again, we were trying to help limit our calls to the MWS, so we're trying to remove some of that and make sure we're going to be as smart as we possibly can. All right, so what I'm saying about the scanner is if you have a scanner, you can simply burn through books as fast as you can. And again, this will be faster in database mode, but I just got this app and didn't get a chance to download it quite yet. So I'm just going to show you live. You're good to go. If you do want to enter data any other way, you can push the small button on your scanner, bring up the keyboard, and you can type it in. We're going to get to a custom keyboard at some point, but that just involves more hours and more dollars. And again, we were trying to focus on getting this out the door to you. So what you can do is you can simply type in barcodes, hit enter, and off you go. If there is an X in the barcode, you can switch back over and put an X, if I can type X in there as well. And this will read textbook barcode. So if you have a 290 number, no worries, you're off and running. And then if you do want to use the phone, again, our developer fixed this last night after it was erroring out. You can simply point and shoot. I don't know why it's not showing you everything. I guess it's lagging just a little bit. You can point and shoot. There we go. That's more live time. So you can aim wherever you want. Make sure you get the barcode in a well-lit area right in the middle of your phone screen, and you are off and running. So that's the app. And again, you can switch back over. I'm going to switch back to my barcode scanner, so it's going to be faster. We can set it up this way if you want to go to the light mode and simply work your way through it. And from light mode, you can click on the profit calculator up in the corner. It's going to be defaulting to fulfilled by Amazon unless you change it. If you switch to merchant fulfilled, close the calculator and then start scanning, it's actually going to stay on merchant fulfilled until you tell it otherwise. So just keep that in mind as well. We tried to make it so we could support our merchant fulfilled brothers and sisters as well. So I'm going to switch back to FBA. From this screen, you can tap any of the prices visible. So I can tap the 492. It'll pop it up there and show you what your profit is. And again, this is assuming I'm selling Prime. So there's no profit there, not worth sending in. If I could get the lowest Prime price at $6.93, I could make $1.57. So again, you bulk players that are getting these books for next to nothing, not a bad book to list. And if you do click on Amazon's price, it's not going to throw 883. It's going to throw 883 minus whatever percentage you've set up in the trigger. So in this case, 883 minus 10%. And if you can do the math on the fly in your head, the calculator or the app does it for you. It's going to be $7.95. On this screen, any price is tappable, and it'll update what your profit's going to be in the upper side of the screen. Again, if you tap on Amazon's price, it's actually going to show you the 10% off. So if we were to click in here and look at where it's actually calling it. Again, an issue with iPhone 7, for whatever reason, we'll squash this bug eventually. It's not quite showing the prices there. This should work on nearly any other phone, but for whatever reason, the phone that, of course, the founder has does not work. So not a big deal. It still works. A couple other hot links. If you click on the used prices up at the top, so click on the used number, it'll bring up all the lowest, it'll bring up all the used offers. From there, you could filter to Prime, but that's going to take extra time. We don't want to do that. You can simply come back to your phone. You can click on New. It'll take you to all the new offers. And for those of you that sell Prime, and again, the used buy box is often the cheapest Prime price. Looks like my scanner just disconnected on me. The used buy box is usually the lowest Prime price. So if we click the Apple or the Amazon button in the bottom right, just above the orange circle, it's going to bring up Prime prices. The lowest should be $6.93. It actually isn't in this case. So whoever Florida Central is probably a newer seller. Yep, 42 ratings, 93 positive feedback, 93%. So for whatever reason, seller number 2 got the buy box over them. So if you were going to price this, and if you can get the buy box, then you could definitely price it at $6.93, if not a little bit higher. So again, that used buy box is extremely helpful in trying to make sure you see what the lowest Prime price is. So let's show you just a few other books, and then we'll get you on your way. And again, don't forget about eScore. eScore 122 here. It sold 122 times in the last 6 months. Here's a book where it actually did bring the thumbnail in. I think it's going to work about 30 to 40% of the time. Don't quote me on that. But you'll still see the title down here either way. So you have the ISBN, the weight. If there are any questions or you have any issues, by all means take screenshots. Send those to info@scoutiq.co, or you can message me on Facebook. You could paste them in the group as well, but go ahead and just email those directly. We can forward those to the developer and try and sort things out. Thank you so much for your time. Again, there's probably going to be a few little bugs in here. Scan tracker, you can click reset and then go scan more books, and it will update for you, which is actually pretty nice. So as you are going through and you scan another book, it shows up as a reject. You scan back over, it shows you you've scanned 1, accepted 0, and you can reset that again. So go ahead and post some screenshots on social media, post them back in the group. Let us know how many books you can scan in an hour. My current record right now is 30 books in database mode in 30 seconds, so see if you can beat that as well. And feel free to test the app, play with it, check out the links, and you should be off and running. Thanks for your time. Again, just one more reminder, please make sure you are in data plus live mode. Do as I say, not as I do. Make sure you're in this mode as you're going. That'll prevent you from burning through your API calls that you can make in an hour. So again, we're going to work to optimize that, but in the short term, please set this to data plus live, download the database, and by all means, have fun. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks, everybody.